Hello crafty friends, it's Jess from jesscrafts.com, and I wanted to make a quick video to share how I make my A2 card bases. I've gotten a couple questions on this recently, and I've been making my own card bases for so long I don't even think about it, but I realize there's always new crafters who may want to know how they can make card bases in an economical way. So what I do is I take a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I like really thick cardstock for my card bases. I've been using Accent Opaque 120 pound from Amazon because they deliver it right to my door, but I also like Michael's 110 pound for card bases. It's nice and thick and it comes in a lot of colors. So I get my craft as the Michael's 110 pound, and then they have different color packs, like all kinds of different reds or blues or even some multi-packs. Those would be my two personal recommendations, but there are a lot of great cardstocks out there, and use whatever works for you. I make a lot of cards, so I make a lot of white card bases, and I try to use that as often as possible. And then my second color would probably be craft that I use a lot of. I take my 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. I cut it to 5.5. I don't normally record live videos. If you hear dogs in the background, they're the neighbors. Sorry about that. Then I take this piece and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Here on this is an old Martha Stewart scoring board. It is no longer available. There are many scoring boards out there. I will link something similar in the video description, but I'm not going to get a new scoreboard just because this one isn't available to link to. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Here, this particular scoreboard, one of the reasons I like it is because it very conveniently labels A2, A6, A7, which are common size of card bases, particularly A2, and A7 are 5 by 7 for those who like that one. And there's also the 4 bar. So a lot of different ones that are labeled right on there. If yours isn't, I would suggest just popping it on there, like marking which line is the one that you're going to do your card base folding on. So you can score it once. You can score it more than once. You can score both sides. Some people, and sometimes, depending on your cardstock, scoring both sides could break the fibers of the paper and make it kind of fray at the edges. But I don't find that to be too much of a problem with this particular cardstock. I can kind of see it though. So generally, you're supposed to score one side. Don't stress too much about that. I will say, when I first started making cards, I did use thinner cardstock, in which case you could have just taken it and bent it over and matched up the corners and folded it. And you absolutely can do that. But even there, to crease that was a lot of pressure, so I just naturally reached for my scoring tool. I will say a scoring tool is nice. Most scoring boards come with one. This one did. I lost it many years ago because I use a Teflon bone folder. But Teflon bone folder isn't necessary if you're just getting started or you only make cards at Christmas time or something like that. You don't need this, but overall this is a pretty economical way to make your own card bases using 8.5 by 11 cardstock, scoreboard, Teflon, bone folder, and the swing line trimmer. This is probably the priciest thing. As crazy as that is, the trimmer is probably cheaper depending on the price on any given day. Did want to real quick go over if you wanted the slightly different fold, or if it's folded along here. Same thing, you're going to take your 8.5 by 11 and now you're going to cut it at 4 1/4 instead. And when you go to score it, you could of course fold it in half if that's what you prefer. I do think a scoring board's probably worth it, and then just use the scoring tool that comes with it. Then when you make a lot of cards, maybe you do want to upgrade. This is kind of a nice tool, but not a necessity. Okay, then we're going to score it at 5 1/2 this time because that's half of 11. I'll bend it and use this tool to push it down like that. And those are the two different A2 size cards that I typically make. I hope this was helpful to those who had a question about how I make my card bases. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more crafting tutorials, including how to use up a whole 6x6 paper pad, or how to use up all kinds of sizes of paper with no scraps, because I am all about using your supplies and getting the most bang for your buck, please subscribe to my channel. or get that bell notification so you'll know when another video comes up. Leave me a comment because I'd love to hear from you guys, and thanks so much for watching.